So I need to do a mic check.
Well, good.
You're good?
Yes.
No. I need to talk. I need to say hello to the people.
I don't know when we get to say hello. We say hello.
That is the time.
Don't worry. I'm not audience shy.
You're not audience shy.
I'm only afraid I might take over your show.
Why not? Praise God. You know, I must say that this is fresh for me. First time ever having to interview a family member. And so, yeah, it puts me in a really different position, different frame of mind.
I can imagine.
Yes, you can imagine. And I know even so for him, he has wondered, but he has honored this invitation. He came in all the way from the city of Kaduna just for this national media. Please, let's do that. Excellent. You know, I know people are wondering, I mean, who's older? I mean, he looks bigger than I looks younger, right? So let's see that picture. Where's that picture? Show us that picture, that family picture. Talking of I Shouldn't Be Here, a story of rescue, restoration, and redemption. And today, you know, I'm pleased that I have my brother here. He's going to be sharing his own story with us. I'm still waiting for that picture to come up. Yes.
Yes.
That's the picture, right?
Can you imagine?
See him, right? Yeah? Can anybody spot Ayuba there?
Yes.
I want to give, let me see how much there. You see his son is raising his hand. Yeah? Bobby is raising his hand to talk to who his dad is. Alright, so but can you see that's a family picture with our parents, my dad. It's a little blurred out, you know. My late dad and mom, our late eldest brother there, and you can see Ayuba with her father with his little finger in his mouth. Wow, isn't that awesome? And I bet you can tell who is, you know, which one is.
Who is trying to enter the camera?
Show the last one. This family, yeah. And you see me and my bro, yeah. So for the picture, Gasha, I want you to get this picture, dude. Let's do this.
Let's do it again.
Alright, so capture this. Come right here, capture it. Just stop there. Stop where you are. Yeah.
So can do 40 years after.
That's, I tell you, man, 40 years after.
Wow.
Excellent. Have you gotten it? Okay, thank you. Praise God.
Hallelujah.
So let's get into the story. I Shouldn't Be Here. I know that this story started for you sometime in 2012.
No, to be, if going by your team, I shouldn't be here. It started from the day I was giving birth.
Right.
So my mom tells me the story that I just forgot to put that up.
That's true.
The day I was the day I was born, and they discharged my mom, and she went home. The doctor and nurse called her and asked, "How is baby Sambo?" And that's when she realized, she went to check up on me and realized that I was not breathing. So she rushed me back to the hospital, and spent some couple of days. I was an incubator. I somehow had something to do with blood. There was not enough circulation of blood or something like that. And so for me, that was the beginning of my story, because if it's death, I have smelt it a number of times, and it is just God that's always brought me back. So I think that's where it began from, because from then there was some issues, but it was resolved. Thankfully, spent some couple of days, not days, months.
Yeah.
Because I think I did my first Christmas in the hospital. Yeah, and then we now came back. So when we came back to Nigeria, we landed in Kano. One place I was going around the pool, jumping, and I now fell into the pool. I was drowning.
Wow.
Then my eldest brother was the one that jumped in to save me.
Wow. I tell you.
Yeah.
I still remember.
Yeah.
You know, our eldest brother became our first superhero. I still remember him diving into that pool
Just to rescue me and bring me out and pump out all the water. And of course, we spend money. Don't go and play there again. But kids will be kids. We always still go back. But thankfully, so I would say.
Zoom in on this one.
Yeah.
I honestly agree with you. I'm seeing so much so how much you shouldn't be here. These stories are already recalling and recounting. True, I didn't really think about that as we planned for this. But let's get to that one.
Okay.
You know, this main one, this recent health challenge that you had.
Okay.
Tell us how it started.
Okay. So over time, every time I go and do an ECG, because I've had to do ECGs for one or two things, they always tell me that, come, your heart is getting large. And remember, I even showed it to Dr. Last. He said, you lose weight and you'll be okay. So I cared less about it. On this day, after I graduated from my first degree 2005. So after 15 years of being in the field doing my work, I decided that no, I must go and get a master's, because actually I didn't want to get a master's. I always asked, what's the point of it? But my inspiration came from a film, very funny, a series, Meet Some Mother.
Okay.
This BBC series.
I'm not seeing that.
Okay, so there's this Inspector Barnaby. In the first episode, he went to do a master's and he was telling his deputy, look, I went to spend a lot of money to do a master's in criminology. At least I did it so that I can understand the mindset of criminals. But if that one cannot work, if I cannot understand criminals, at least I'll use that to understand you better. So what that put in my head was, I shouldn't do a master's because I just want to do a master's. It should be something that is going to make me do what I'm doing better. I should better myself. And so that's why after 15 years, I now decided, okay, what is going to be better for me? So that what helped me to select the course I was going to and where I needed to go to. So selecting that course, okay, all my contemporaries had gone to UK, abroad. I said, no, me, I cannot carry last now.
Yeah, so
I must join one of them and go there. So the UK was the best option that came. I looked for school, and of course, there were some schools that gave what I studied. And so that's how the trip, we went to the UK. And before going there, I did an ECG and they told me my heart was large. It's a story I've been hearing for so many years. So I said, yes, I'm aware, no problem. And so I didn't care much, but I just went.
Yeah.
And that's how I landed in the UK. So it wasn't much of a problem to me. I was physically moving. I'm not a lousy person. I carry myself. I'm very agile, very active. I remember me and my son were always going around for walks in our park and everything.
So you went to the UK with your family?
Okay, so I first went initially, Nigerian mentality now, okay, let's save money. But when I went there, when I landed there, the first 24 hours, I now decided that there's no amount of money that I'll save that can replace the memory of them coming here. And so we began to walk towards them coming. So they came and joined me 3 months later. I stayed there for 3 months, then they now came and joined me.
Your wife left work?
Left work, school, left everything to come and join me. In fact, my wife's work was a miracle because they didn't usually do what they used to do, what they did for her. Normally, so she took absence without sabbatical, absence without leave, leave without pay.
Yeah.
And so to orchestrate that, to get that was a miracle.
Wow.
Funny enough, I had a very good friend who was there and he facilitated it. And to God be the glory, it was leave with pay. So while she was with me, they were still paying her full as if she was.
Let all the parents here praise God. You know what that means when you're getting paid without working. Those last three days of holiday this week that just passed were so precious. My goodness, just to rest and you're getting paid.
For resting.
All right, so you're there with your family, you do walks with your son. Your
Yeah.
health wasn't much of a challenge there.
Nothing. I never felt anything. I was okay. Well, okay, yes. Okay, so once or twice I experienced There was a time I was in Lagos. I was on a treadmill walking, and then I experienced my heart kind of like the muscles of my heart seized. So what I normally do, I've had that experience a couple of times. So I just jab my heart, hit it. Come on, don't die, don't stop. You can't stop now. You only stop when I say you should stop. So I have this psychology that I control my body and my body doesn't control me. And so that is why I can count the number of times I've had malaria. I can count the number of times I've gone to the hospital. I do not take drugs complete. It's not in my dictionary. Once I take the first dose,
You're feeling better.
I tell my body it's okay. You gotta heal yourself. I don't like catarrh. I can have catarrh, headache, catarrh. You be seeing me dripping everything, but I must still take cold water with ice. I tell my body that no, I have to enjoy this. I enjoy it, so you have to conform to me.
You are talking to a medical doctor.
I know, so that's where me and medical doctors will always quarrel. I control my body.
Okay.
So I speak to my body, no, don't, this is not how you're supposed to operate. Operate for me 100% how I know you to be. So on that day, one day we went out and I felt the jab again. I hit, the thing told me, but you take time. So we're going, still walking, I was still feeling the pain. I hit it a couple of times.
Pain?
Yeah, pain. The heart, the muscles, the heart was not pumping. Yes, I could feel it. So I hit it again, then it started
You hit
working.
your chest.
Hit my heart.
Where your
Heart is, yes. I'll blow it, hit it, and pump. It's due to watching film or all this film where they watch, where the white man will just hit somewhere. So that was the thing that I had in my head. So fine and good. That one happened maybe only once, but I was fine. I was perfectly fine. I was.
Just certainly.
Then, so, okay, I had finished my whole program. COVID came. Then I had finished my thesis. I had submitted, had a very beautiful defense. My supervisor was so happy with me that he even took me out, that it went so well and everything. So we're happy. So, me, I was supposed to come back to Nigeria. I wanted 1 month of holiday now. So I can't just rush back like that now. So I constrated my organization that I needed an extension. Actually, the school gave us an extension to submit our thesis, but me, I had finished mine and submitted. So after that, I was there. The 1 month passed. It was just like a week to going home. So of course, over the years we bought car things. So we're planning to ship them. We had shipped the first set. So this second set, me and my son, we went to buy cartons, big cartons. So there's a place we need to go. So we went there. So unfortunately, I didn't have a car. I didn't want to have a car in UK. I wanted to be entering bus. So when the bus would drop us, we still have to walk quite a distance to the shop. So I just found out that, boy, this time me and my family, we used to walk. We used to walk. Even at distance, we walk out very well in the UK.
The culture of the UK is that you walk a lot.
Yes, you walk. So, but unfortunately, this day, I will just take 3 steps. I'll start breathing, losing my breath. I'll get so tired, so fatigued. Like, what's going on? Did manage read the shop, bought the carton. Now, unfortunately for us, the bus to take us back, we have to walk a longer distance to where the bus stop was. So we started walking. I was just panting. We had to stop almost 5 times for me to catch my breath, rest, and listen. So eventually I got to the bus. We got to the bus. Eventually we got home. And I think I called you then.
Yeah.
And I asked you that, my boy, this is what I'm feeling. I'm feeling pains. I'm finding it difficult to breathe and all this. So he said, can I get to the hospital? I told him that, no, maybe it's just I'm stressed. Say, guy, get to the hospital. I said, okay. So my wife.
Just before you go on there, I still remember that phone call. And you know what came to my mind when you told me the symptoms you were having? Difficulty in breathing, exertion,
Sure.
getting easily exerted. That was a sign of heart failure. And it tied in so much with what you're already talking about, having to hit your heart and all of that. That was a sign that the heart was failing. And so when he was even trying to think, okay, maybe I should just rest, no, for me that was an emergency. Get to the hospital immediately. You know, we take it for granted when you get up in the morning and you can dress up and go out, you can wear your shoes. When you're having a heart failure, to get dressed is stressful, super stressful. And I think that's what happened. So what did you do about it?
So, well, I didn't immediately go to the hospital, neither did I call 911 because, as I told you, I was thinking of leaving. I had to pack my things. So, we packed up. I started packing up with the cartons, and then I called. There's the guy that was supposed to move the things, and I called them to move those cartons. So I was living in an upstairs to move them to the elevator, move them downstairs. Man, it was tough for me. This is something I could do on my own. I was almost fainting. I was sweating, perspiring. I was like, no, 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 no. So after I finished doing that, I just called my and said, look, I think I'm going to the hospital. You need to come back home. I now called
So your wife was at work?
Yes, she was at
She
work.
had gained employment in the UK?
Yeah, she had started some work. That time, that COVID era, they were looking for people that had mind to do work. You know, that time, yeah, I really didn't accept the COVID. I just said it was smoke. I just said it was just a normal. There's white people that they have not experienced cold before. It's flu. Yeah, so I said, what was all this? The same people were dying. I keep asking my wife, but I go on the street, I see all the old people I'm always seeing. So nobody is dying. So maybe it's a different thing. So, but we unfortunately work came out at that time. She had worked a couple of places, but that was the far most easiest and sweetest place to work. So we were there. So I had to call her back. I called 911 that day. They came. Okay. So that time going to the hospital was restricted.
Yeah, because of
So
COVID, right?
because of COVID, they'll triage you. And if your case is serious, they will allow you to come to the hospital. If it's not serious, they will offer some remedies for you. So when I called and I said I was having made my complaints, so they questioned the person asked me, so can I get to the hospital? I say yes. Do you need any assistance getting to the hospital? So I said no. I can walk. I can manage for now. She said, "Are you sure we can send an ambulance to pick you if you cannot move?"
Yeah.
I said, "No, I can move. I can go." And so I picked up. My wife came. By the time she came with a cab because it was emergency. So I used that same cab. I told him take me to the hospital. This is in Swindon General Hospital. And so by the moment I just arrived at the hospital and they just checked my blood pressure, they all went crazy. It was over 200, about 200 and something. Jesus Christ. So my
You know the normal blood pressure is about 120 or like 80.
Yes.
And then
Mine
you're having
was
somebody having 200
200.
millimeters of mercury.
and I was
That is an emergency.
that was an emergency. So they immediately rushed me in, started doing some vitals, checking some vitals, did some ECG. The ECG was just off the charts. They were like, come. But so the doctor came. So how are you? Have you ever experienced this before? Okay, no problem. You're in safe hand. You're okay. We started giving you some medications to your lungs were filled up with fluid. Your lungs were filled up. That's why you're having difficulty breathing. Um, we believe that you're having a heart attack, but you are safe hands and kept reassuring me and everything. So, but prior to that night, I had some nights that I'll be sleeping and I'll wake up panting. So I couldn't breathe. So I had to be propped up to sleep.
Yeah.
So they asked me, so have I been waking up in the night experiencing that? I said, yes, I've had a couple of that some days. So I was there. So they now took me in, they now stabilized me, put me on some a scan meter to be checking, reading my heart all the time.
Yeah.
So they now told me, okay, we're gonna have to see a cardiologist. The cardiologist has to come and check on you because we believe that this what is happening to you is something wrong with your heart.
Okay.
And so the cardiologist came, he saw me, she saw me as a female. He said, no, they have to wait for a consultant to come. That yes, that let's wait till the consultant came. So, but the consultant didn't come immediately. It took him like 2, 3 days. So I was being managed and been sent to the ward. And then when the day he came, he looked at me, checked it, he signed. He said, wow, okay. Mr. Sambo, I'm learned that you said you're about to go back to Nigeria, that you want to go back. I'm sorry, I cannot allow you to go. Right now, your heart is so enlarged that at any moment from now, it can tear and that can be catastrophic.
Wow.
That we normally experience about 3 millimeters expansion, but yours is about 9.
What?
So sorry, I cannot allow you go. I cannot in good conscience allow you to go. You must, I have to perform, we're going to have to perform a surgery on you.
Hold on.
Wait.
Hold on. I need us to imagine a balloon. A balloon grows to this size, but then it grows 3 times bigger. You know that it is a lot thinner.
Yes.
The wall is thinner,
Thinner, yes.
and it's a lot easier for it to pop up.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he's explaining here.
So he
9
said,
millimeters.
9 millimeters said that, no, I cannot in good conscience allow you to go.
Wow.
You're having what a rare heart disease, and he called it aortic regurgitation.
Yes.
And he explained to me, he said that it's very fascinating that they've never seen it in a young man, that I am the first young man that is presenting all the symptoms. That usually they see it in very old people, 75, 85, and that close to them. So you cannot really, so the symptoms is more of textbook. Nobody really gets to see these symptoms so visibly. So
How old were you then?
no, I was in my 30s, 30, 18. I'm not even 40.
Wow.
So it was very shocking to them. So he said, well, you know, trust me now, Nigerian guy, the only thing when he said surgery, the only thing that came to my mind is, who will pay for this thing? I said, Mobile. I say, when he was talking surgery, I said, calm down first, calm down. How much is this surgery?
Yeah?
No, don't worry, don't worry. Don't dribble me like that. I'm well. So there were nurses that this. And I said there was one matron, I think she was a matron or something like that. She came and met me. So what's the problem? I said, oh, well, I'm a student. Oh, I cannot pay money. How much is this money? I want. And I told the man, I said, you know what? Let's do something. I said, Sheikh, yeah, I'm now stable. He said, yes. Okay, my flight was like in 2 days' time.
Wait. So this was 2 days to leaving the UK.
Yes.
And they are telling you about
Surgery.
that you didn't have the money for. So how did you get out of the house?
Now I told the man, I said, look, do you know what? Let's do a deal. Package me enough that I can enter that plane. Once I enter that plane, I'm in the air. Once I reach Nigeria, anything that happens, no problem. We'll manage it from there. He said, no. You know, Nigeria matter. I say no. I say okay, that no problem. I shouldn't worry about payment. That's not the issue now. The issue is getting you better.
Wow.
I said okay. So yeah, I was there calculating my woes. These people were round the clock working, checking my documents. And fortunately for me, when I was coming, I paid insurance, health insurance.
Okay.
So they just came back. One nurse came back. Yes, I think this was like the next day when he came to check up on me. He said, okay, he's cleared, he has insurance, the surgery is a go. Okay, Sambo, your surgery is free of charge. You are not going to pay, you are not going to pay anything. It's at no cost to you. It's free of charge. Let's go on. Start preparing him.
Wow.
So trust me now, they heard said that wow, I was so excited. Because I didn't know how to tell my organization that you guys are going to cough this thing, and I'm not a godson in my So I got the hospital, they wrote to my organization telling them everything, what the situation was. So because it was COVID, they had to transfer me from Swindon to Bristol.
Okay.
They have to
How
transfer
far
me.
is Bristol from Sweden? Like
Uh,
from here, Chama, you say?
no. It's like traveling from, okay, if you're in Kaduna, it's like traveling from Kaduna to Zaria.
Okay.
Okay, so if you're, it's 30 minutes journey, yeah. So, yes, like going to Guagalada.
Alright.
Yes. So Bristol is a specialist hospital that deals with heart surgery. That is their specialty.
Interesting.
So every hospital or all hospitals have that specialty. So on that fateful day, we finished packing. I don't know if you can scroll back. This picture, this
Yeah,
one.
so there's one, just one before to your left.
Yes.
That one. So this was before
Yeah.
the
So
surgery,
this is when I was living Bristol. I was so happy. I spent like 2 weeks there. I met very funny people here. One white. You see this white man? Yeah, this in Sweden.
You're living Sweden, right?
Yes, I was living in Sweden. You see this white man?
Yeah.
He might had similar case with me. He had a heart problem anyway. But his granddaughter, he loved his granddaughter so much. They used to come and visit him. So because they didn't used to allow children, there's a window here. The grandchild will go and park at the car park. He will go out and look at them and greet them.
Yeah.
There was another man that was beside him. Now that's his own case. He just came in, he collapsed. Next thing they told him, he came back. When he came, he said, oh boy, you are going to have a heart surgery. They just took it very simple, just treat his vein here, put the device, clear the blockage, and that's all.
Oh, he had an embolism.
Yes, it's blockage, yes.
Yeah.
So very simple operation, and he was done. Even him was shocked.
Amazing.
So I came, all of them came, met me and left. So I started getting depressed in this place. And I was like, after the first week they ran all the tests. So the second week I was waiting. And actually, what I was waiting for is COVID. They needed to culture me to make sure I was not infected. So that's why I was.
So how long were you in Sweden before you went?
2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks in the hospital.
2 weeks in the hospital.
Is it like in Nigeria? Your wife was by the side of the bed.
Oh my God, no. In fact, they were almost annoyed that she used to come because they used to tell her there's no problem.
Wow.
Your wife there's nothing, everything that you needed, somebody was there to attend to you. If you even needed a bath, people will be there to bath you.
Amazing.
So it was, in fact, after my experience here, I really wondered. I said that we don't have healthcare in Nigeria. No, we have not yet reached there, but it is so fantastic. I always wondered that, no. A lot needs to be done. So this was me leaving. I was so excited, and
can you find that picture? He was
in an ambulance.
Yeah. So this was you leaving Sweden to Bristol.
Yes, this is when they were transporting me, and all this was at no cost to me.
Amazing.
I didn't arrange. I didn't have to think anything.
You didn't have to call the doctor.
I didn't have to do anything.
I mean, last week we heard how you needed connections to get a few things done, right? I'm sorry that I juxtaposed it. It's just such a contrast, after gaining that understanding.
Yeah.
So you got to Bristol. What happened?
So I got to Bristol on the 9th of September. So the way they did it, because of bed space, even in Bristol, those were part of the factors that made me wait. A bed space needed to be available for me, and because my surgery is supposed to be a short-term duration surgery, They were not going to run any tests. I was just all tests they did was uploaded. Everybody was seeing it. All the doctors that were handling my case had seen it. They were aware. They all knew what was coming and everything. So by the time I reached there on the 9th, the doctors came and briefed me. And this is what they were going to do. I have to sign some consent forms. They told me the risk involved, that okay, this is going to be an open heart surgery. So what they planned for was a valve replacement. And the reason was that, okay, so what was happening, my heart had expanded. So the valves, if your heart closed like are together like this, and this is what makes the pump action. So for mine, they were expanded like this, and so they were working, but because they are expanded, there was no pump action. So that's what was happening. So he said that, okay, normally yes, they are going out to check for that they will replace the valve if the valves, it could be that the valves are stiff. Yes, they are ineffective or selves. Or
if it was just too large, they might just need to reduce.
Yeah, so he said that what they will do, but their plan is to do a replacement, but it depends on what they get in there and see. Okay, so but already they were noticing an enlargement on my aorta, so that's the enlargement, the thing that was causing the enlargement. So so when he went in, so eventually that night.
So hold on, before they went in, you got to Bristol.
Yes.
How did you feel about all of this? Were you scared? You mentioned that you had smelled death a couple of times. Did this come to you like, it's one of those times, or what was the perception?
Oh no, I was very much aware that it's a 50-50 case.
Okay.
But before then, I had a concept or a mindset that I don't fear death. I, in fact, welcome it because it is the gateway or per se to heaven. Because as a believer, what is my assurance? My assurance is heaven.
Yeah.
So why should I waste my time being here on earth? So I really didn't worry about dying. And these conversations, I've had it with my wife, with my son, and we all have this mindset. We've conditioned our mind that if death comes, it's a blessing. It's not something we're going to struggle to hold on. I've also told my wife that if I ever fall sick, and that sickness, as at that time, required more than 200,000 naira, she should forget about it. The limit I've given them is 200,000. Once they've spent 200,000 naira and I cannot get better, then forget about it. Don't waste any more resources trying to treat me.
I was about to ask you what the new limit is. But that's 200K is laughable right now.
But that time, that was like 1 million, right?
Yes.
So I have had that mindset. So I was not
scared.
I was not scared.
You're prepared.
I was
prepared for life after here, if this life on earth ends.
No, I was excited rather because oh boy, they're going to do open heart surgery. So I'll be among the few Nigerians that have had that kind of thing. So it was exciting to me.
Exciting, right?
I read books, read this thing, and I just kept an open mind. I had some pictures.
So wait, officer, hold on. So let me tell the people of God here today, this is, I shouldn't be here, but it's one that brings laughter and joy. So please enjoy the moment. Someone say amen. Yeah, please clap. Yeah. Praise God. Okay? Okay. I mean, forgive us because last week we left here crying. I mean, we're all weeping, but today we're seeing joy and gladness and celebration in the wonderful things that God has done. So you went in for surgery.
Yeah. Okay, so that night they had to prep me.
Okay.
Shave, clean, all those briefings and everything because the surgery was going to be for 10 on the 10th by 8 a.m.
Okay, so you got it down the
9th. I slept, woke up.
Did you eat or?
No.
Right?
Yes, you don't take anything. So they told me make sure I use the toilet very well. I was there, slept, woke up in the morning. They woke me up by around 6 o'clock. started doing preliminary things, and the last I can remember was that before wheeling me, because they told me that the anesthesia would come and the doctor will come and give me anesthesia and I will sleep off. So the last I can remember, they just wheeled me from the room. I can't remember where they took me to. I can't remember what happened. I just was out. Out. I was out
What time did you go in?
by 8.
How long did the surgery last?
Okay, so when they were briefing me, they told me that, okay, if we enter in our 8, we should be done a couple of 2 or 3 hours. So by 12, give or take, we should be out of the surgery. So when I went in 8, my wife told me they finished 5 a.m. the next day. 5 a.m. the next day. That's what.
21 hours on the table surgery.
Yes. So, from my wife's record, what she recalls, what she told me was that when they went in, they met some complications. They finished. They didn't replace my valves again. They found out where was enlarged. They cut the enlargement on my outer. They cut the place and sutured it back and closed me back. When they
Permit me to explain that just a little bit using this pen.
Yeah.
All right. So this is the aorta. It's a vessel that takes blood from the heart, oxygenated blood to the rest of the body. So I believe it was ballooning at a certain
Yes, I did very close to the heart.
Very close to the heart. So they just cut that place and the teeth and stomach. They just joined it back to the heart.
Yeah.
So removed the part that was already ballooned and expanded. Yeah. And I know Jimmels is using his mechanical how he does the car. You know where. All right. Great.
So.
Wow. They did that.
Yes.
And it still didn't work.
So that process, when they finished it, before they could finish that one, that took them some time.
Okay.
And then when they now finished and put it back, the heart wasn't working. My heart wasn't working. They just couldn't understand. So they now had to do another procedure to bypass my heart, the heart action, through a machine and to see what they can do to why it wasn't working. As at this time, when they had done this, was around 1 a.m. So they called my wife. They were trying to call my wife to get consent from her that they needed to do another procedure. So, well, by and large, I don't know the procedure they did. They couldn't get her. They just had to carry on with it. And so by around 5 a.m., 4 5 a.m., they were done. And they now moved me to.
So let's see a couple of those pictures when you got out of surgery. Let's take a look at this. Show us another one. This is not showing us his face properly. Who was this?
So one of the nurses. So they took me to this intensive care unit.
Of course.
And I was on life support. So I was in coma for 5 days, induced coma. Because when they finish the surgery, whenever they try to wake me up, I go into shock. When they wake me up, I go into shock. I was not stable. So they had to just stabilize me, put me in induced coma. I had to stay there for 5 days. So every day they tried to wake me up. Every day they were trying to wake me up. I was always going into shock every day. Every day.
The heart was working, they had finished the work.
Yes.
But going to shock means that the heart is not effective enough in getting the blood to where it should get to. That's shock. Okay, so they'll have to induce coma.
Yes. So I was there in this period. Then.
So just hold on, officer. We need to say about this in a little bit.
Yes.
When we said open heart surgery, can you just show us? I don't have those images. Yeah, he mentioned to me that because they were focused on him getting well, they couldn't quite take pictures. And it makes sense. I mean, near-death experience.
No, don't. Let me tell. When I was going to the surgery, I told the doctor, I said, "Oh boy, you guys take pictures of me." Okay, man laughed, saying, "Can't you?" Yeah. But they said, well, "Okay, why they couldn't take during? They didn't make arrangement for photographer.
Oh.
I requested too late. So that's why they didn't have
Okay.
pictures of the actual surgery on the surgery day.
Can you show us?
So yes, so what happened is that
How
so
long is your incision?
they broke my sternum, they broke my chest bone. So they broke here,
Yeah.
this chest bone up to here. My chest bone, my rib, all these, they broke it open. In fact, I was on a lot of drugs, so I was hallucinating. But one of the times while I was in this thing, I woke up to see my heart open. You know, sometimes I don't know whether that was real or was hallucinating. But I woke up to see my heart open, and then the nurse came and pressed me down. Come, he's moving, he's awake, he's awake. They now rushed, came and gave me anesthesia, and I went back to sleep. And so when I woke up, this place they had sutured it shut, but yes, I have a lot.
Just show us.
It does from up there down here.
Yes, that means they opened up his
It's my rib cage.
Yes, they saw that bone open.
Open.
You can feel it. There's a bone there. They fractured it.
Yeah, they fractured it.
They used the saw, it's equipment. They actually saw it open and used equipment to pull the rib cage open so that they can access the chest. You can check it online. It's really, and it's grappling, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
but that's what we're trying to see here. So you got out of theater.
Yeah. So
You're having hallucinations. Tell us about this recovery period.
Yeah. So that was the most painful part. So from the day I woke up, the day I opened my eyes, I saw when I opened my eyes, the started communicating. I was stable then. I couldn't talk. I had a lot of pipes. I had a lot of things on me. I was just making sign language, so they were able to. So they now said that there was a problem, that I was infected. That's normal that I was infected, and it's causing buildup of fluids in my lungs, and I wasn't still breathing properly. I was on oxygen breathing. I wasn't breathing normally. So they used to come and explain the procedures that they're trying to do. So the doctor said, okay, we need to pump out fluid, the pulse that is being generated from your body. You need to pump it out so that your lungs. So at that time, my lungs had collapsed because I was in one position. I wasn't using it, so it had collapsed and now filled up with fluid. So every day they'll come, put something in my mouth, I'll vomit out the fluid. So one day, they now told me, when they told me that I needed to get those fluid out so that, okay, so they now explained to me that they'll get those fluid out, then they'll prepare me and take me to a place that they're going to blast oxygen at high pressure into me to expand my lungs to work. I said, okay, no problem. So that day I just told the nurse that was waiting, I said, let's continue bringing out fluid because they regulated it because it was very, very horrible experience. It used to make me almost go. So this day I told him, let's go, let's do. He was doing, but I was bringing it out. When the doctors came around for check, I had brought out like about 4 liters.
How did you do regularly?
Regular was just like 1 liter. They do one a day, and they stop because it's exacting on me.
So here you had done 4 liters.
4 liters.
You know, I feel like shouting Nigerian, they carry us.
I just told the guy, let's go. 4 liters. When the doctors came, so wow, where did all this come from? He said it came from him, that he's the one. He said that we should keep going. I said, doctor said, are you okay? No, don't take it easy. I said, no, well, is it not fluid that you could say it's inside? No, let's remove it now. So when we finish, I wasn't talking then. I couldn't talk, but they were picking this thing. So they now prepared me to take me to that place to where they will do the blasting. So I was like in a waiting area. And I called the nurse. The nurse was with me. I told him that, look, I want to breathe. I can breathe. They should remove all the oxygen. They said, no. The doctor, I now called the doctor. He's an Indian guy. He said, three. He now came and said that I told him that we should move it, I'll breathe. Are you sure? I said, yes, I'll breathe. No problem. And that's how they just removed everything. I started breathing. My heart was.
We were all holding our breath, hoping that you would tell us that you removed it and couldn't breathe.
Yeah, so all these things were they just removed them.
All this intubation,
Yes,
all these things were
intubation.
assisting you to breathe and to
Yes,
feed.
yes. So they just removed it. I just started breathing. My heart was doing. I could hear my heartbeat. It was beating faster than normal. I got scared.
Yeah.
And I told the doctor, it's too sad. He said, okay, no, don't worry, that to regulate. So that's the beginning of the recovery. So from there,
Hold on, dude. I mean, we have to take it in softly, gently, okay? My goodness. I need to ask you a question. You said you were in coma for 5 days.
Yes.
You had hallucinations.
yeah.
Did you, last week even we heard a story of, the people ask you that when you are close to death like this, do you see some of your relatives?
Yeah.
Did you have any funny experience?
Okay, so for me, I knew I was dying. I knew that I was in a place in between heaven and hell.
Between life and death.
Yes, between life and death. Let me put it that way, life and death. I was seeing ridges, dead bodies, ridges. I was running, going over them. So after there were some other things I saw, some places that I was dead and everything. I was just seeing dead. So I now, after I ran a couple of times, I got tired. When I knew that the whole place was just dead, I now got tired and I said, God, if it's death, then let me die. I'm ready. I'm more than happy to go at this time. If it's not that I'm going to make heaven, no problem. Let me still go. But I will not stay in this valley and be roaming up and down. No. So right then I heard the voice of my in-laws, my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, they were praying. I heard that voice praying. I now, had this conversation with God because my mother calls me mighty man of valor.
Yeah.
And she calls me that because she has had some dreams about me that usually, okay, she had a dream that I was surrounded with snakes. Snakes were all around me, but I was like on the top of a rock. But that I was not afraid, that I commanded the snakes, that I will pick one up, dangerous snake, that I will pick one up and slap it on the head, put it down, pick another one, slap it on the head. And so, those are words stuck to me that I'm a mighty man of valor. So I'm one that I challenge. I challenge anything. Even in my dream, I challenge it. I remember there was a time I was running from a couple of people. They were chasing me. After a while, I just turned back and decided to stand my ground. Let's fight. And to fight them. So in every dream I have, I don't allow anybody chase me. I stop and chase the person back. So on this occasion,
So did you have any experience like that while you were going through all of this?
yes. So I now saw myself in a place whereby there was a building and a sort of like beast entered that building. And so I was like, had to go and contend with that beast. So normally I would have run him. No, but I went to challenge him for entering into that space. And so that's how, as I was doing that war, I started waking up because I got back to where the operating room was.
Wow.
I was I knew when I would come back to my body, open my eyes, see, know that I'm
In the hospital.
yeah, in the hospital. I'll go back in, my spirit will leave again. It will come back until the last time. And that's when they were waking me up. Until the last one, I just came back and I stayed in my body. And then I woke up.
My goodness. I'm sorry, this you have had this experience. We're only hearing it for the first time, and we're amazed at the contention one has to go through even to live after such an experience. It seems supernatural. It is supernatural.
Well, you see, for me, it was not that I contended to live. I just didn't want to be oppressed.
Oh, interesting.
It's not like I told you.
Yeah, you were not scared about whether living or not, but it was you're not going to be oppressed by any form of darkness.
Anything, nothing is going to oppress me. Not in life, not in my dreams, not
even in
anywhere, not even in death. So, so that's what happened, and I woke up, and so we started the recovery process, and it was very excruciating.
So tell us all you felt when you woke up. You mentioned pain. Where were you feeling pain?
Yeah, so my chest was painful. I had to be coughing. I needed to cough sometimes.
Yes.
And when I do that, it hot. It's no hot is a cannot describe the pain. The pain was so excruciating, so excruciating. So they had to fold towels, and if I want to cough, I have to hold that towel to my chest. Then I'll manage. This what the pain that I will go through. It was so painful sometimes I will choose not to cough. But if I don't cough, there were mucus that was growing up in my trachea, so I had to bring them out. So with time, I started
So
recovering.
you were having pain. You mentioned you couldn't talk.
Yeah.
Were you eating?
So no, I was not eating. So they said they were not passing
How did you
anything.
eat?
Yeah. So if you see another picture, so this is a lot much better. I had gotten. I was yes, this is very good. So it was through this thing that they were feeding me.
So the
Yes. So yeah. So the thing was so uncomfortable. So after a while, I now they started giving me solid food. But because that thing was still, I could not, because when I just take, because of the pipe, I would just give up eating and this thing. So because I was not taking enough food, I was losing strength. I wasn't having any strength. So they needed to be, I wasn't getting the calories. So that's why they still kept this one. So that if I'm down, they will pass me the food and all whatnot.
So pain, couldn't eat, couldn't talk. You mentioned an infection.
Yes. So I had an infection. Now that infection was a serious one. They were giving me drugs, but the drugs were not working. That was where they got confused. They tried everything. They were surprised. I'm like, why? What's going on? So at a point in time, they now took my blood, checked, and they discovered that my blood was rejecting the drugs. That it was my blood that was rejecting the drugs. So they stopped the drugs.
I know my infection.
Yeah. So they stopped the drugs, and the blood was healing myself. It was the one healing the body by itself. So they were amazed. Why? What this is? So they actually came to do some genetic tests. So they said that they suspected I had a rare genetic gene, but they needed more tests to confirm. Unfortunately, I don't Japan by then. So
Wow, please clap. Can you clap? When you
So-
give me antibiotics, your body no green. Amazing.
So, but because now one of the challenge I had, my visa was expiring on the 29th
Of September.
of September. So any health care
Yeah.
that I was enjoying was going to expire then.
Wow.
So we started working. They needed me to start working immediately so that they can quickly discharge me. So, but I been in coma 5 days. It took me another 5 to 10 days. All this process. So, like on the 6th day, a week after the coma, that's when I started working. I got up on my own. I started working, trying, moving because they said that they were just complaining that I didn't have this will to live, that what's wrong, that I need to have the will that I'm okay. So I struggled, started working, getting so by around 26th, 26th of September, I was I was I was mobile. I was mobile. I could walk. I could do some certain things myself, and that's how I got discharged that day, and I left. But that was not fun. So
It was not fun.
yeah,
What do you mean? What happened?
no, I was still not strong. I had still lost. I still couldn't talk properly. I started gaining back my speech.
Wow.
But I couldn't talk. I couldn't do a lot of things. I couldn't work. In fact, that's when they say when you marry the right wife.
Yeah.
My wife was amazing because I know what it means to take care of somebody, especially an adult. So my wife had to be taking care of me, bathing me, moving me up and down. I couldn't sleep. I didn't sleep most night because I was in pains. So one day the pain was so much I had to call the hospital. Okay, so there's a community of people that have had heart attack. You get connected with those communities.
Yeah, for support.
Yeah, for support. So I was speaking with one of the person in charge of me. He said, yes, I shouldn't worry. Those pains are normal. That what happened is that my internal organs were moved.
Yeah,
Or
jumbled
you
up.
were jumbled up. Yeah,
Were
so
touched.
yeah, so they were trying to fit back into where they are. So that's why I'm still having pains. So by and large, so that's how
You coasted out of.
Coasted out of the
Please can we
situation.
put our hands together to appreciate that? So dude, what was your biggest miracle in all of this? I mean, the surgery was free of charge. I met the cardiologist at Lilly Hospital, because we were corresponding, and he was super excited when he found out that he had gotten the surgery done overseas and it was free of charge because he knew how technical and how expensive it is to have gotten that surgery. Yes. Oh, okay. So we need to find that out. But I know. Do you know?
So I went for a follow up in Limi.
Yeah.
That was like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So dollar was quite good. The price range for the hospital 15 million to 40, 15. It told me between 15 to 25 or thereabout. Yes, that's what I said 3 years ago. So yes. So, but your question was, what was the greatest part?
What was your biggest miracle and experience?
It was not the surgery.
Okay. So wait, hold on. After all of this emergency surgery, open heart cardiac surgery, and your recovery, your biggest miracle wasn't even the surgery.
It was not the surgery.
What was it?
My biggest miracle was that I went to the UK. I went for a master's. In my organization, I applied for sponsorship. I started my application 2018, and when I gave my immediate boss my application, because there's a way he's supposed to sign, he said, "What the hell? How can we be spending this amount of money on you? Why? For what?" He got furious. He didn't want to append his signature. So I was like, a colleague just spoke to him and said, no, because it's not you that is going to pay. Let the upper class reject or say they are not going to pay. Then this thing. And so my application went forward. He signed it, endorsed it, went to the highest board of consideration. I was in Lagos then, and I now got transferred to Abuja. So when I came to Abuja, I met a colleague that was working in that department. And he told me, when I asked him, I said, oh boy, how far now? How is this process going? He said, oh boy, Sambo, oh boy, you need to lobby, or you need to go and get your senators to lobby this higher echelon. You need to lobby. This thing is stiff. Man, you can, oh boy, you need to get somebody to speak on your behalf. Who am I? Which senator do I know? Who do I know? Even in the higher echelon, who do I know? I had nobody. I had nobody. I had no means. No, it was not something that they were. If there was somebody that could go and meet, I'll go and meet. But I had nobody. No one. When he told me this thing, my heart just broke. I just gave up. I just said, God, so no problem. It is well. I left it at that.
Okay.
And then one fateful day, a friend of mine that also my colleague, that also my classmate that also applied, called me up and said, Sambo, oh boy, we have been giving sponsorship.
My goodness.
I said, what? We have been giving sponsorship? I said, yes. But gentlemen, that sponsorship came out
in 2018, you said?
Yes, 2018. It came out 1 week to when I was resuming for the course. I now called the schools, send them an email, because when they gave me the provisional admission, they said I must send a confirmation of sponsorship before they give me full admission. So 1 week to the course start date, I sent them a mail. I've gotten my sponsorship. They said, well, sorry, we cannot give you the admission now, it's too late. We need at least 2 weeks to process your security clearance before you can start. However, we are going to defer this your admission for you till the next year, 2019. And I was like, oh my God. I said, okay, no problem. I now reached out to some colleagues for advice on what I should do.
Yeah.
Everybody told me, oh boy, because in our organization, there's no room for deferment. Either you have it or you don't have it. And unfortunately for me, they had paid me all my entitlement, everything they had been paid. So I now say, what do I do? They say, boy, some people advise me, go and change course. Go and apply in another school, change course. When I come back, they will rectify it within the office. Many people advised me. Many people told me so many things. I can never remember. I was driving back to Cuba and I was on.
You can't forget it, right?
Yeah, I can't forget my prayer that night. I was in a bit of confusion. I said, God, thank you that among the whole lot that applied, you remembered me and brought me out and found me worthy to be sponsored. So even if I don't end up getting sponsored, for what you have done, I am overly grateful, and you remain God in my life. And so I now decided I will do the right thing. However, before I decided that, I keyed into the people's advice. That same school, I now applied for a different course, and they warned me that if you apply for this course, this your deferment is you are going to lose this deferment. I said, no problem. I went ahead. I didn't get that course. I didn't qualify to get that admission. So as at that time, I didn't have
any admission.
I didn't have admission.
2-0.
2-0.
You won.
So, and I decided, okay, I was going to do what is right. Whether they don't have clause for deferment, I'm going to write and tell them everything that happened. And so I wrote and told them everything, and now attached all my emails and everything, conversation with the school to them, and I sent it to my bosses. And but I skipped out something. The email conversation up until when the deferment was cancelled, I removed that aspect.
Yeah. And you sent them what you needed to say.
what I needed to send to them. And so I told them, they now invited me for an interview. Why? What did this happen? I explained to them, it's not my fault. It's when it came out, this was the school, look at the conversation. My boss was like, the only reason why I'm so happy, or the only reason why I'm considering you is that you applied for a course that is relevant to you and to your profession that you're doing. And I'm so amazed, I'm so touched by that, and as such, okay, we'll take a decision on you. What he said, okay, consider him for next year, put him on priority list. When it's time, let's return the money to coffers. I said, thank you, sir. Then somebody now, one other person that was there said, sir, no, if we do this, what if we go like that? What we did, what happened now will repeat itself. It's not because you will still be in this predicament. Is that so? They now told me to excuse them. They now discussed, now called me back. So, okay, you go and secure your country, go on your, apply for your deferment, and by next year you go. I said, thank you, sir. But sir, I need a letter of confirmation for the next academic session, so that they will know that that the citizenship is still going to be valid. He said, okay, no problem, write the letter for him. And as I left the office, they wrote the letter for me. On the 3rd of September, when admission portal just opened, I just applied again, attached everything, and got back my admission letter. So that's how I now got the admission letter. I now sat down for 1 year, waited, and left. So what is the miracle? The miracle is that God knew beforehand that I needed this surgery. And so he preserved it and waited, let it wait. He made it to wait till the appointed time. That's why he is God. So if I had gone that 2018, these symptoms, I would have come back, and those symptoms will only come in the preceding year. So that is the miracle. That is where God rescued me, knowing that I needed it. Beforehand, he had planned it.
Yes.
And just wait 1 year, not I didn't know. Just for me to reach there, and everything was sorted out.
Somebody shout hallelujah. Praise God. We have spent a lot of time. I don't know if I can open it up for a question or two, but time is really gone past us. We're this time. I see you. Pastor has seen a movie script in your story. Any question before we hand it over to Pastor? Just give a chance for one question.
Sorry,
Yeah.
just sorry to take your time, but this is the first time I'm sharing this.
Hey!
I've never shared it anywhere as a testimony, but that is why I was happy for your invitation, and I also thank God for this. My prayer is that my story, like I always say, and that's why I'm happy to embrace death, because I know that if you begin from the day I was born to the day I die, if you don't see a reason to trust God, then you yourself, you're not a human being. Because my life is a testimony of God from the very first day I was born till this day that I have my offspring. Bob Sayer is a testimony. So I thank God for the opportunity to share, and I thank God for the time.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ayuba Sambo, I shouldn't be here. Let's hand over to Pastor. Please clap if you're happy. Please clap. Please clap. Free your hands and clap. Please clap to the Lord.